Yeah, welcome to High Press TV. My name is Isaac. Welcome again, man. Welcome and thank you for joining me again. I want to share my few cents again on some topics. Today I have VAR in question. You know, I want to talk about VAR concerning obviously the outburst cry from the fans, from the officials, from the club people. From the coaches in the PSL. I think like South Africa should introduce VAR, next season. It's been a long wait because the officiating, there's so many errors in officiating, and I believe if VAR is introduced next year or next season, I think it will give them a boost, you know, just to channel and assist the officiating a bit, because my worry is most of the decisions, man, are costing the clubs, points are costing the club, uh, winning games. And just imagine you are battling relegation and some decisions are going against you. That will definitely, tarnish the mood of the team, and demoralize the players because they're giving their all, to come out of the relegation zone. So I believe the referees, should also step up, train hard and try to give fair officiating because some clubs are very hard done, and this has been a cry for very long time, If you bring up these conversations, some fan-based clubs, will pull out files and videos, post on Twitter and on Facebook and share how many clubs have been benefiting with officiating, and to to make things fair, I think VAR should come and intervene, you know, just to just to make things right. I suppose, you know. I bet VAR in PSL. I think we understand it, and I think the fans will understand the extent of using VAR in PSL, because AFCON, I think AFCON have shown the greater good of using the VAR in Africa, and I think AFCON has shown that we've beaten the world in using the VAR. I think we've been exceptionally good using the VAR, better than the people who have started using VAR long before, 2018, I think, better than the Premier League, better than what we've seen in the Euros, in the World Cup. I think VAR, you know, was was greatly introduced in how to use it, uh, efficiently in AFCON, 2023. It was marvelous. It was great to watch, you know, fair officiating, fair share of result, fair share of of decision taken to favor teams who were supposed to get those to get those calls, and I suppose we should give out, a round of applause and a shout out to the referees and the officiators who were there and taking charge of the VAR in AFCON. They set a tone, and some of them, you know, were, you know, PSL referees. So I think it will be a greater good to come and introduce the VAR. You know, it's been long coming, and I think the tone is set, and I think we'll do good in VAR in South Africa, and it'll do good in, you know championing in the right direction for the South African football. You know, so introduction of VAR, it's a must next season. I think the committee and the board of PSL should sit down, you know, and fill up the matter really, really, really urgently uh, next season. It's needed. It's not something that should take long, because if it's something that take long, some teams will benefit from officiating. Some teams, will be relegated from the officiating, and teams will lose money. Some of the players will lose jobs because some of the teams have been relegated and can't pay them as much as they were paying them and playing in the top flight. So I believe VAR next season, definitely, definitely. And definitely 2024, 2025 season, I think VAR should be there, definitely. On my other topic, I want to, share my view on CAF Champions League, and and I want to talk about Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns, for me, if they don't go win the CAF Champions League this season, for me, it's definitely a failure. You know, we know Mamelodi Sundowns, in the league, first thing first, they're winning the league. So I think, I think they should go and challenge for a bigger title, and which that title is CAF Champions League. So I believe if they don't win it, it's definitely a failure, man. It's been 2016 without winning the competition. So most definitely, it comes to a point where we say the team has been investing on the technical team, on scouts, and on the players also, and they've been buying players for very greater amount of millions. The likes of Allende, Esqueta. I think they played a new player, from South America, also from Argentina, if I'm not mistaken. They've included Mendieta from Stellenbosch on their squad. You know, they have Allende on their squad. They also went and brought a South African player who was playing in the Swedish league, Tariq Matthews, which I think is a greater addition to the club, and also Tebigo Siloj, previously playing for Orlando Pirates, which is exceptional talent. And from those additions, they have players like Shalolile, they have players like Bangani Zungu, they have players of Tembazwadi, of Brimudiwa. So they have a greater players to go and champions, this journey for them to conquer Africa. And I think they will. If they don't, it's a greater failure. And I think from the president, Mamelodi Sundowns president point of view, I think if they don't win this Champions League, he should go and revisit and review some of the things, man. Because if you invest greatly in the club, and one thing you've been keep chasing on, it's not materializing, you should go and revisit some of the decisions and some of the objectives that the club have been, aiming to achieve. You know, I mean, for example, man, I don't want to say they should sack anybody, but if you're playing in a good club, good invested club have been competing in a greater level. Club, every season they win in the league, you know. So I want to give the example to Real Madrid, sort of. Real Madrid, they know, if winning the league, La Liga, if the winning league, which is La Liga, it's a bonus for them to go and play in the Champions League, UEFA Champions League. And the technical team, the president of the team, knows if they're investing on the coach and the technical team and the players. If the mandate is not fulfilled, maybe in a season or two, the coach will be sacked. I'm just saying, because this has been the mandate from 2016 for Mamelodi Sundowns to go and the champion, uh, to retain the cup since 2016. And they're competing at the highest level, and they're not competing against any other small teams in the continent. So we have good teams in the continent, which I think we should give props to those teams for giving uh, the greater in the competition, and honoring Al Ahly in this conversation is winning that title for many years and still going. I think now it's in their DNA, in their culture of the team, to go and champion the cup every season, and win it for the club, you know. And I think Al Ahly are doing greater, you know, are doing a greater, good to the culture of the team and the DNA of the team. People came, set the tone, and they're taking the baton, and they're running with it, you know. And for Sundowns, they won it once, so I won't be hard on them, but the club and the system they've put in place, I think it, it's in their hands now to go and compete, you know. it's in their hand to go and say, let's compete, and be the team from South Africa are winning it for a second time. So I think if they don't win it, for me, it's a greater failure, especially this season. I think we should consider that matter that Sundowns are greatly investing on the squad and the technical team every season just to make sure they are coming victorious on the competition. And it's been many years without winning this competition. And I believe and I want the team to win it as a neutral fan, to go win and represent the South African, you know, uh, I mean, the South African count to say, and to top it off and qualify for the Club World Cup, and which I believe they will, obviously, because there's a system now. They're qualifying with points on the logs, and I think now they're number third or number four. If I'm not mistaken, last time I checked, and I think they'll win this game and go to the final, which I think definitely will give them automatic qualification. So I think they should go to top it off with winning the title and qualify for the Club World Cup and go compete with the best in the world, which I believe they are the best in the league and the best in Africa. So they should go, test themselves in the highest level ever in the world. So, and I believe if they go there for the second time, they'll go with sort of an experience because they've been there before with Peter Msimani, and they've shown the glimpse of what they can do. And I know that the players have changed. They've changed the players, and who went there before are not there. But the system they have in place, the style of football, and the coach they have in place, and and, and the technical team, I believe they can go and give some of the teams, a run for their money that side. And also just to put some of the players in the map to say, hey, we have good players who can play at the highest level, and and I think they should go and do that. On my next topic, I want to talk about Supersport losing players. Now the season is coming to an end, you know, and I believe Supersport should stand firmly on which players they should sell and which players they should keep. And in my opinion, I have two starlets, Campbell and Ocon, and they've been much of the playing the pivotal role in their squad this season, and very important players, going ahead. I think if they are selling those players, I think they should aim abroad, you know, than selling in PSL. I think it's an obviously a selfish reason because let's look at this. Supersport has been, developing players for other teams, in in PSL, and those players are in a team where they are winning the league every season, and Supersport were competing for every trophy in the league, and they were winning, and they have good players of Grand Kika, Tebo Mukwena, you know, Obrimudiwa, where where we would say those players were fundamental part of those teams' success, you know, and those players now they're not there, and they have not been, having those players who can go and compete for the league titles or the competitions, you know. So the likes of Umbule, which also departed, the likes of Jim Webb, who also departed for Skukun, you know. So I think they should be selfish coming to the market. Uh, in June or August, whenever the window is opening, I mean, and try to keep the players, important players, and also bring the good players who can add on their current squad they are having to try and compete in the next season. Because I believe they have a good squad and they have a good coach and technical team. I think Stan Matthews should back the coach, back the technical team to keep some of the players, which I think keeping players also doesn't mean if they're keeping players, maybe they'll win the league. But I think like they'll compete, and if they're going to CAF Champions League and qualify, or CAF Confederations Cup and qualify, I think they'll go and compete, in that regard. So I think they should keep those players and some of the players because I think they are very important to them, and I think they will put the club, an edge, than they are doing this season to compete for other majors, man. On the next topic, I want to just to pass by and just to give a props to Cape Town Spurs. I think they have a rookie start of the season. They are still on the bottom of the table, and definitely I think they are going to be relegated. But the number of youngsters that are playing on the team, I think it's 6 or 7, maybe some there are 7 on the starting lineup and some on the bench. I think it's something as South African football we should look at and give props to Cape Town Spurs as a whole, because I think the development and their ages and the ages of the players who are already playing the top flight, I think it's a good investment and I think it's a good development on the players, and I think it's a great platform for those youngsters to showcase their talent, you know, and be picked in one of good teams in South Africa. And there's a partnership, if I'm not mistaken, they have signed with abroad. I think abroad with the French club. Uh, yeah, with the French club. I think that which players with some of the players, if that club in France like some of the players, they can go and play abroad. So I think I should give them the props in that regard and say, well done, well done to Cape Town Spurs, well done to the owners, well done to the club, and well done again to the players, to the youngsters who are taking, the opportunity at hand and go to perform, and they showed a great shift and against Mamelodi Sundowns in a midweek, match, and I think they were not supposed to lose the game, but it is what it is, man. But well done to the club, and I think they should continue in that fashion. And another thing which is not popular, but for me, I want to commend, you know, Drip, Drip Sportif, and the owner club. I mean the owner Lukau, you know, for endorsing and taking the brand to support one of the biggest teams in South Africa, which is Morocco Silos, and sponsor with the brand and to put their name forward and say maybe we can do we can do this way, and start taking the brand South African brands and bring them to the sport, to the football, and sponsor the teams, you know and because the jersey, it's beautiful for Swallows. So I think, and and I think they should, encourage other brands in South Africa to say, hey, let's go and invest in the South African football clubs and put our brands out there and diversify. So I would like to say shout out to Lukau and the Drip, family to sponsor Morocco Solos, and I think some of the brands are showing, you know interest maybe behind the scene to go and you know sponsor other teams. Yeah, man, that's my fair share of this week. That's my 2 cents. This is High Press TV, man. Thank you for joining me again. Be with me in this journey, man. I think I'll grow. I think I'll be concrete in this platform. Months to come, maybe years to come, and please like and subscribe, and support me in this journey. So walk with me in this journey, and we'll get it right. This is High Press TV. Isaac Marani, I'm out.